Well, hi there, I'm Thom Malone. I'm very much looking forward to a cracking card at Navan on Saturday. We've seen some brilliant stars on this card over the years, including last year when we had Manila Indo win that beginner's chase. But we start off at 10-1 with that Dunmo rated novices hurdle. Some brilliant names on the winners list here. You got the likes of Kempes, Sir Deschamps, Andesau, and of course champion hurdle winner Sublimity as well. Gordon Elliott's won this race the last couple of years though, and looks like he could take it once again this year. Riviere de Tel looks like we'll have a favourites chance, a pretty short price favourites chance in that opening race of the day as well. A 12-length winner of Punchestown on stable debut. Again, has a Grade 1 entry at the Dublin Racing Festival, so obviously big things expected for Riviere de Tel, and this looks like a nice opportunity. Getting weight all round given the 4-year-old there, so Riviere de Tel should win the opener on the card there at 10-1. At 122 then we got a fascinating maiden hurdle. Gare de Sceaux here, of course, a top-rated pointer. Obviously sold to Jake McManus since then, was beaten on hurdling debut at Fairyhouse last time out, but you'd have to think the horse that beat him has gone on to run into a really good one next time out, and actually looked like in the closing stages of that race he was going to be well beaten, but then stayed on to nab second place. So you'd imagine Gare de Sceaux will improve for that run, and also the stiffer track at Navan will be of assistance as well. Second, of course, hook up at Fairyhouse last time out, but an intriguing runner as well is Mr. Incredible from the Henry de Bromhead yard. Second to Gaillard de Maigny, who of course is in the betting for those Cheltenham novice hurdles as well. So that's a really strong bit of form for Mr. Incredible. So looks between those two, Gare de Sceaux and Mr. Incredible in the second race of the afternoon there, that maiden hurdle at 122. At 157, got an intriguing handicap hurdle here. Really deep this one, the Navan handicap hurdle. Grade B contest over 2.5 miles. The top one, Column of Fire, hasn't been seen since looking all over a winner at the Cheltenham Festival and tipped up at the last in the Martin Pipe. Obviously 316-day absence for him to overcome. Another one that caught the eye was Campiador, who's now running off a mark of 128. I have to think that one back in his earlier hurdling days was challenging the likes of Faugheen. But the one I like here is Wolf Prince. Has been second in a Grade 1 in the past, placed in a Grade 2 at Ace in the Fisher Lane earlier on in the year, off a mark of 135. Looks like 2.5 miles on a stiff track will suit. Should be able to handle the soft going as well, and I like the chances of Wolf Prince there, who looks a classy operator, off a mark of 135. Could be able to exploit that in that decent handicap hurdle over 2.5 miles at 157. At 232, we got the Ardmulken handicap hurdle is 80-109. Sir Bob was actually bang out of form, but was placed in this race last year, so perhaps he is one that could get involved. But Thunder Rosa is a more attractive proposition, dropping in trip, ran in behind the really progressive Ballyshannon Rose last time out. That's a strong piece of form and should be able to take a race of this nature. Like I say, back down in trip, but having run over further will be no harm, just given the going at Navan on Saturday. Then at 3:07, we have an intriguing beginner's chase. This is the one won last year by Manila Indo. Of course, went on to be placed in the RSA chase last year, just run down later on by Champ. But a couple of interesting runners in this, particularly Lord Royal and the Big Boy, who are both entered in the National Hunt Chase at the Cheltenham Festival in the third week of March. So they will need to be in the first three here if they are to take up that engagement. And not just like the chances of the big dog here, has always looked a big staying sort. It was eye-catching enough when placing last time out, and I think the big dog will definitely place, and if he's sort of anything above 5-1, which I doubt he will be, but he's an each way proposition. But I back him to win anyway, the Big Boy, hoping that Lord Royal can make the market for us slightly. At 3:42, it's a handicap chase, this Gorman Lock handicap steeple chase over 3 miles. And one here I just think it might be time to start winning again is Our Friend from the Paul Nolan yard. He won on hurdling debut, and well, he's been dropping down the weights over fences since then. 3 quiet runs in beginners chases, and now is into a 0-102, the lowest grade he's ever run in. He's rated over 120 over the smaller obstacles, so off a mark of 102. He's only 6, and Brian Cooper and Paul Nolan combining with Our Friend, who can overcome a slow enough run of form, perhaps a tentative selection there in the 3:42, and definitely the kind of horse you'd be keeping an eye out to see if there is any market support for. We close out with the Slane Bumper, this contest and over 2 miles, and just with that rain softened going, one that kind of stands out here is Tucson Train. His 4th start, Charlie Mullins on board, was second to a really decent sort, Ramais on last time out at Christmas, of course, and that Remise is a nigh on single figure price at Cheltenham Champion bumper. So that's a really strong bit of form. So I think just Tucson Train could make his fitness count. Although it is worth noting that Paul Hennessy did win this race a couple of years ago, and he's got Recite a Prayer, who's a beaten favourite last time out. Patrick Mullins on board. Obviously an eye-catching jockey booking there. Obviously didn't cover himself in glory last time out, but he can probably progress from that. But I just think Tucson Train might be a bit of a price, has strong form in the book, and that race fitness from what will be testing going come the last race of the day at Navan on Saturday.